Welcome everyone to another edition of Prep Previews. My name is Brent St, Germain sports editor, and this week we have Matt LeBlanc with us, sports writer for the Courier and the Daily Comment. And Matt, looks like we're just down to 2 now. And I know the city of Thibodaux's got to be pumped up because both of the teams are in Thibodaux.
Right. It's great for the community, great for the kids at both of these schools. Got 2 teams in the quarterfinals, and it's going to be some exciting games this Friday night.
Right, Class 3A, Thibodaux's making the trip up to West Monroe. And who E.D. White's got this week?
E.D. White's going to be hosting Independence over at Harvey Pelche Stadium on the campus of E.D. White. Talking about Thibodaux going up to West Monroe, I know you went and talked to Coach Lorio yesterday about they've got some really interesting storylines in this game, aside from it being a very important quarterfinal match.
Oh, I agree. I mean, first of all, you got Thibodaux's one of the surprise teams right now in the 5A, just by seeding purposes. I mean, you couldn't consider Thibodaux a surprise team because, I mean, when Trevon Reed was hurt, they struggled a bit, but once he got healthy, they're great. They're playing great again. There's 23 seed going up to number 2 seed West Monroe. West Monroe's a great team. Games at 7 o'clock Friday night at West Monroe Rebel Stadium. And Thibodaux enters the game 8-4. West Monroe's undefeated, so they're a great team. You got 2 coaches here who have won state championships going head-to-head. Dennis Lorio won the first 5A title in 1991. Don Shiles has won 6 titles with West Monroe. So in the 18 years of 5A, these 2 coaches have won 7 state championships and all that. And I mean, you got, just a lot of great athletes in this team. I mean, everybody knows Thibodaux. You got Trevon Reed, but you got a great power back and Brandon Duncan. Great defenders like Javante Knockham and Chad Fletcher. I mean, those are 2 real good guys.
Taking a look at those defenders, they also have the middle linebacker, Trey Grenier. Last week he came up with a fumble recovery on the goal line to open the game. He closed out the game with an interception. That's game-changing plays that can win you games in the playoffs.
Right. I mean, Thibodaux last week against St. Paul's had 3 interceptions in the second half just to throw out any kind of drive that what St. Paul's was having. That's big this time of the year. You can get those turnovers. West Monroe has been dominant this season. I mean, they've outscored their opponents 506 to 150 in 12 games. That's real impressive. And they got the defense is led by Jordan Allen, an LSU signee. I mean, they like to run the ball with Tyler Kane and Tashadi Talton. Their quarterback is Paul Turner, who's put up some good numbers. The winner of this game is going to play the winner of number 3 Acadiana and number 11 Catholic of Baton Rouge in the semifinals. And both teams each have a common opponent. Last week in the playoffs, West Monroe traveled to New Orleans, beat St. Aug by 1 point, 27-26. In week 10 of the season, Thibodaux beat St. Aug in Thibodaux 31-14. So it's kind of a little measuring stick you can use for that game.
Right. Looking over in Class 3A, we've got the number 3 seed E.D. White, who's 11-1. They're going to be hosting number 11 Independence, who's 10-2 right now. 2 of the hottest teams in the state, both coming off of games last week. E.D. White beat Richwood 7-6. Independence beat Amy 19-7. Looking at Independence, they've got 3 running backs with 600 plus yards rushing, 1 with 978 yards rushing. So E.D. White likes to face these running teams. This is the type of team they like to face. Of course, Independence is very athletic, a lot of speed. Talked to Coach Kyle Sane yesterday over at E.D. White. He compared them to Richwood, compared them to Patterson, said that the key to a game like this is adjusting to that speed on Friday night because you can't simulate that in practice. If he compares them to Richwood and Patterson, looking at what E.D. White was able to do against those 2 teams, it's a favorable matchup this Friday.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good matchup for E.D. White. They're looking to get someplace they haven't been in a while, which is the semifinals. They got into the quarterfinals 2 years ago, lost out. They got back to the quarterfinals. I believe it was in 2001. They lost in that round, so I'm hoping they can get past that hump and get into the semifinals.
Right. E.D. White has not won a quarterfinal game since 1982. That's 27 years, and I talked to one of the kids' quarterback, Grant Chasson, yesterday, and he said this team would love to end that streak. Anything else you'd like to add about these games?
If winner of this game plays?
E.D. White, they win. The winner of E.D. White Independence will play the winner of number 10 seed Patterson, number 2 Parkview Baptist.
All right, well, this is it. Quarterfinals again. We got teams in it. Keeping our fingers crossed. Hopefully we can get a few teams to advance, maybe to the semifinals. It'd be nice to have team's just one win away from the Dome. But we'll have to see what happens. You know, if Thibodeau's going to West Monroe and Edie White hosts Independence. Keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll be back next week with some more playoff action.